According to a recent CNBC report, as many as 1 in 10 Americans face eviction. Despite this, the housing market is booming and inventory remains near record lows.
I think it's just the greatest country in the world still, a little biased, but I still think this is a place for people from all over the world to come to make their life better, and the opportunities, I believe, are still there for anybody, whether you're born here or from abroad, man. The American dream's still alive.
Besides the run on toilet paper and essentials at the grocery store, the hottest pandemic purchase is a house, as more and more Americans take advantage of low mortgage rates to attain spacious backyards. Existing home sales, which have trended upward for months since the housing market reopened from shutdown, soared to a 14-year high in August. Home prices are soaring too, recording the highest 2-month appreciation between May and July at 2% in 30 years of record keeping. New home sales were up a remarkable 41% year over year for the month of October. Sounds good on the surface, but despite a federal ban, many renters are still being evicted. A nationwide eviction ban was supposed to protect tenants like Tawanda Mormon, who was forced out of her 2-bedroom Cleveland apartment last month. Stories like this unfortunate one from New Jersey, $20,000 in credit card debt and a negative bank account, the cost of one woman's wait for unemployment benefits during the pandemic. Janine Flynn lost her job at a New Jersey restaurant in March. It took months to start receiving unemployment benefits, and she's still trying to access more than $14,000 in back pay. As a result, she used credit cards to cover basic needs for her family. Her story illustrates the financial stress the unemployment system has caused thousands of workers during the pandemic. Here's another example. This article is courtesy of CNBC. The CDC banned evictions. Tens of thousands have still occurred. The CDC made an unprecedented announcement in September. As the nation battled the pandemic, most evictions had to be halted through the end of the year. But while the moratorium has slowed the displacement of families, it has failed to keep many people in their homes during the pandemic. Tens of thousands of evictions have occurred since September, according to eviction filings and interviews with legal aid attorneys and housing advocates. According to a recent Vox article, nearly 40 million Americans could face eviction. These moratoriums are only kicking the can down the road. Chief economist for Moody's Analytics, Mark Zandi, told the Washington Post that tenants could owe nearly $70 billion in back rent by year's end. And for landlords left holding the bag, there's been little relief as they've been forced to take on the role of government, subsidizing housing for millions. Even their own taxes, mortgage payments, and other expenses are due. The moratorium is an imperfect solution, and one that leaves a number of renters and landlords hanging. But without Congress passing rental assistance or other stimulus, it's one of the few things helping keep Americans housed. Here's what the moratorium is supposed to do. Until January 1st, landlords cannot force tenants out of their homes due to a failure to pay rent, as long as the tenants legally declare they qualify for protection under the order. This means tenants have used best efforts to get all available rent and housing assistance from the government, are below a certain income threshold, are unable to make rent because of a loss of household income, layoff, or extraordinary medical expenses, are using best efforts to make partial payments, and that eviction would make them homeless or force them to crowd into a new home.
I feel like more than ever now is the time for people, humanity, come together. And I get business is business, but sometimes in the long run you have to do what's best for everybody. And I know the mighty dollar always sings to everybody, but I don't think now's the time for something like that now.
Many Americans are still hoping for a second stimulus check, and Congress is looking for a last-minute stimulus deal as the benefits cliff looms, according to CNBC. Lawmakers are rushing to craft both a pandemic relief package and a government spending plan before the end of the week. Democratic leaders have backed a bipartisan $908 billion proposal as the basis for an emergency aid bill. An expansion of unemployment benefits and a moratorium on evictions will expire at the end of the month.
Oh man, it'd mean more bills paid, better Christmas. Overall would help, I think everybody in the country.
I'm on a fixed income, so I'm on.
Probably a little peace of mind. You don't have to sit there and worry about what's going to happen with your family, even if you leave your job. Get you a little bit behind you, just in case of something to happen. Because it seems like these days you can't count on the unemployment.
Unfortunately for Americans hoping for economic relief, the new bill would not include a second round of $1,200 direct payments to most Americans. The current bill being proposed does address a lot of issues, but this is a relief bill. Any stimulus would be part of a different piece of legislation. America is a land of opportunity, but right now there are many people struggling across the nation. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I do know some of the questions. How do we help these people? What can we do? What can I do? What can you do?
It may not pay as much as your regular job did, but if you're anything like me, you believe that you're going to do anything that it takes to take care of your family. And like I said, sometimes you've got to be humble, and sometimes you've just got to accept what's out there and just make it through just a little bit longer. And I know things will be a whole lot better.
This is a tough situation all around. Many landlords are stuck holding the bags for billions of dollars in unpaid bills, while at the same time many millions of Americans have lost their job and their way of life. As much as we would like the government to come in and help us, we all know that they're bloated and move so slowly that by the time the help arrives, it's often too late. Thank you for watching this video. If you are finding it informative, please consider giving the channel a subscribe. I don't have a Patreon or solicit donations from people. I'm just a regular guy who enjoys making videos. But if you felt like this video deserved a donation, consider giving it to someone who's in need.
Thank you and God bless.
And we'll wrap up today's video with a series of short video clips. And I think that's a good place to wrap up today's video. I hope that you found it informative and check back soon for more content.